On this episode of Tough Garage, I make one of the hardest pieces I've ever had to make.
Well, you didn't have to make it.
No, I didn't have to make it, but I really wanted to.
Well, stop your whinging and get on with it.
So in the last episode you saw that I modified the bonnet hinge bracket so that it matched on both sides. This was to create the battery and firewall cover. I designed it so that it's a mirror image of the right hand side where the brake booster sits. I started with some sheet metal the same thickness as the firewall. After some careful measuring and planning, I made a cardboard template so I could start marking out all the swatches and all the curves and where they had to go. This is what I mean. See all these swatches here? All these folds and beads and bends? This is what I had to recreate on the other side. The whole thing needed to be made in two pieces, a front panel and a top panel. Creating the swatches or beads would have been much easier with the bead roller, but they are very expensive and I don't have much room here in the garage to house one. But where there's a will, there's a way. So with a vise, some wood, a couple of dollies, some vice grips, all sorts of stuff that I could use here in the garage, I ended up getting it done. And this is the end product. And here you have the end product. As you can see, I've recreated all the swatches, same as the other side, and I've created a lip at the bottom here that actually sits on top of the standard firewall lip. And so that piece now has become the battery cover. There's a few brackets that I've welded behind the actual piece which allow it to be mounted. I spoke before about shaping metal and putting bends in metal. Here's Leo to explain a couple of different ways of doing that.
Sheet metal on cars is quite thin and can be bent easily. The hammer and dolly is one way.
Wrong dolly, dude.
But you said dolly, so I thought dolly.
Wrong one.
The hammer and dolly is one way. Here you can see there's a fold in the middle. I'm going to straighten it out with the hammer and dolly. Even bending by hand works. So first I'm just going to secure the metal so it doesn't move while... Okay. While I bend the metal, I'm going to put on my gloves for safety so I don't cut myself while I'm bending, as this metal can be sharp. Here we go. There you go. Too easy. You can use different types of clamps to secure metal. These are G clamps, which can come in many different variations. And you have vice grips. You can use a rubber mallet to not leave marks on the metal. Thor, son of Odin, now a member of Tough Garage. My mighty hammer! Sometimes a wooden butt can be made to get certain shapes. Remember to think outside the square, as your garage may have all the items that you need to bend metal.
I wanted to create another firewall cover piece, same as the factory one, but this time spanning the whole length of the firewall. I had to make it in 4 pieces due to the length of the curve. Because of the swage that I had to put in it, it made curving the piece very, very difficult. But I got there in the end, and here it is. So here's the piece here. You can see the 4 pieces, 1, 2, 3 and 4. And you can see the swage that had to go all the way along, same as the standard one. And this creates a nice big smooth curve along there. A couple of screws just in the standard locations just to secure the piece there, and it holds it all in place.
Lessons, making do for things around you. Having the right tool for the job is great, but what if you don't have that tool? You might not have it, or it's too expensive, or it's too hard to get. Sometimes you can make do with the things around you. Have a look around the garage and think outside the square. You can even make certain tools just to achieve what you need to. But most important, make sure it's safe and doesn't damage the stuff that you're working on. That's it for today's Leo's Life Lessons. Triple O out. Well, this place is clean. Now we're triple O clean.
That's it for this episode. On the next episode, we modify the intake plenum and create a throttle body elbow.
Please like, subscribe, leave a comment, and hit that bell for video notifications. Did you expect me to do something? Excuse me. Come on.
Too good, eh? After some careful measuring and planning, I made a card paw.
Here you can see there's a fold in the middle. I'm going to straighten it out with the hole,
With the hole?
I don't remember. Even bending by hand works. So first I'm just going to secure the metal so it doesn't move while even securing it by hand works.
What were you meant to say?
Stop doing it!
Alright, well when you stop.
You can
Go.
Thor, son of Odin, now a member of Tough Garage. To the hammer!
I said wait. Go.
Thor, son of Odin, now a member of Tough Garage.
Go.
Thor, son of Odin, now a member of Tough Garage. To my mighty hammer!
Not to my mighty. Shit.
Remember to think outside the box as your what?
Square. Not outside the box.
Box is better, mate!